Hi everyone. If you have never watched the YouTube channel The Nomad Capitalist, I highly suggest that you will do that. Not specifically because for the kind of services that the owner of the channel is promoting, as it refers mainly for very high-end earning individuals, but the concept of using the possibilities that other countries offer to people. The main principle behind the strategies that he suggests can be applied to everyone, I believe, and it's something that I have done in the past many times. Especially for American citizens, we all know how it is to live in the United States and work and pay all those high taxes and get very little in public services, including education, health, insurance, and amongst others, right? So it comes a point where all this adds stress, layers and layers of stress, because you have two kids and or you want to study and you're thinking studies for yourself or studies about your children, and then you have, I don't know, we have a tooth that you need to replace, plastic surgery or whatever that might be. And also there's a point where people finally want to retire, right? And we all know that in retirement the expected income will decrease. So there's two options basically for US citizens. One would be to stay in the same area that they currently live and downsize their home and downsize their car and downsize their lifestyle and, you know, adjust their lifestyle to their income. They can move to a different state and continue having all the same privileges, like the size of the house and the car, but you know, they're away from family and friends and most likely in a much less desirable location. Or you can move to a different country. So basically the whole concept I want to talk is, instead of stressing out so much about everything in life, take advantage of all the tools that today's world is offering. There are cheap flights. You can travel, I know from personal experience, you can travel to Costa Rica, for example. I got 2 crowns in Costa Rica. And it was less than half of what it would be here in Maryland, where I live. And I could get much cheaper. I just didn't want to take any chances. But that's only one example, right? The flights for destinations like that, especially Costa Rica, which is a very popular destination amongst Americans, are very cheap. I have a round flight coming up for $320 round trip. So with that amount of money, you can go and save thousands of dollars on a dentist. You could enroll yourself or your children in the future either to online studies, or you could send them to Europe, for example, for much cheaper. I know I got my bachelor's degree from the United Kingdom, and the tuition was, at the time, that's in 2010 to 13, the price was around $8,500 a year tuition, and that's only for 3 years. So, and if you account the cost of living, Nottingham, where I was located, the university was only charging $5,000 a year for the room, so the dorm. So if you put all the expenses in, a good university in the UK, you can probably get the whole bachelor's degree for what you get here with 1 year of studying, which is amazing, right? And I was able to come here and get a good paying job with the degree I got from the UK. It's not really fair for the Americans, is it? But again, instead of complaining about the game, play with the rules. Retirement, right? We talked about retirement earlier. Take Costa Rica again as an example because I have it very recent in my mind and I keep traveling. I find myself going back and forth. I really love the place. And many Americans actually do too. So, and there's a big American community in Costa Rica, so you will not even feel away from home if you go to certain areas. But for $200,000-300,000 US, you can get amazing townhomes, like almost right on the beach, in very nice area, comparable weather with Southern California, and you won't get anything nearly as nice, both as location and as construction, in the United States, unless you go maybe to Montana. But I mean, that's up to you. If that's your thing, you're more than welcome. I just love to see the ocean. I love the smell of it. I love, it's the lifestyle that everybody's looking for. So immediately, if you take out half of the education cost for you or your children, you have less than half on major surgeries or major dentist issues, and then you retire in a country that is much cheaper than the United States, then immediately your stress level and the bottom line that you have to have by retirement age becomes that much lower. And how does that make you feel? I mean, keep in mind, let's say you have $500,000. What does $500,000 do to your bottom line? It's gonna give you like $20,000-25,000 a year to live off. Is that enough for the United States? My experience says it's not even enough to cover my rent. In other countries, like again, since we got that example already, we're just gonna stick with it. Costa Rica, you can rent something really fancy with $500, $500 a month. And if you add all the expenses, the living expenses, they're not gonna be more than $1,000 for two people, unless you want something extravagant, right? So maybe 1,200, but that's about it. So the 24,000 will leave you also some room to have some good life, not only cover the basics, but enjoy. And you will be able to get to that 500,000 on retirement age by doing what we said earlier, saving money on major expenses like tuition, dentist, and I would argue even other kinds of surgeries. If you guys ever find yourself in need of doing that and you don't have a very good health insurance in the United States, in which case, okay, yeah, use it. But if not, just save some money and make yourself a favor. Don't go into debt for that, because you're gonna survive whatever you're going through, and then you're gonna be begging you didn't the whole time. That was dark. If you have gone through financial stress before, you can very well understand the kind of mentality and the kind of thoughts that come through your mind, especially if your options are limited. So it's really important that you give yourself not only the opportunity to succeed, but also have less stress on a daily basis. So open up your minds, become citizens of the world, and you will find that there's beautiful places everywhere in the world, as long as you understand that not everyone is American and not everyone wants to be an American, and you're willing to go with open arms in a different place and understand a little bit about their culture, you will find yourself very happy. You will see that there's many good people around the world. There's many good experiences to be made in those countries, and meanwhile you're gonna be a happier person in the end. I hope this helps. If you have any questions, leave me a comment. I'll be happy to help. Everything I'm talking about on my channel, I'm talking by experience. I have been doing all these things successfully. I'm very happy with what I'm doing. I have done mistakes to which I will talk in different videos, but for now, I just want you to open up your mind and see the possibilities with a bird's eye view. Don't look at the tree and miss the forest. You really need to open up your horizons, and that will help you and pay dividends in the future. I promise you that. Be good. Thank you for watching.